Welcome to Hampton Roads Business Live. I'm Charlie Glaze, and today we are talking with the founder of Allied Video Services, Mr. Rory Graham. How are you, Rory?
I'm fine, Charlie. How are you?
Good. Tell us about Allied Video Services, how it began, and what the vision is for the company. Go.
Okay, we are 29 years old this year.
Really?
Yeah, we're approaching 30 here, and we got in. I got into this business back in '84 as a part-time thing, thinking it might be a part-time thing. I was interested in it. I had started with Super 8 movie film and editing that, and I was editing home video, which was very new at the time. But I invested in a franchise, and we went to school for it, and we got into video production, opened a video production company, Allied Video Services in Chesapeake. And when I say we, I mean my father and I. My father is he's retired now, but was very instrumental in getting the business going, because I would not have had the guts to do this on my own at the time. But he was looking for something to do, and I was thinking that there might be a chance that the company I was working for might have some different ideas or plans, and it turns out that 3 months after we finished our training, the company I worked for, which was 7-Up at the time, 7-Up Bottling Company in Norfolk, sold the company, and they closed the production center that I was quality control manager at and started shipping the stuff in. So I was out of a job. So I had a choice. Do I continue in the quality control field and travel the country, or do I stay here and take this new company and try to do something with it? And I chose to stay here and do something with it, and that's one of the best decisions I ever made.
Wow. So a bridge burned behind you as you look back, but
Yeah.
you had somewhere to jump to that you'd already started.
Well, yeah, I had just gotten going, but starvation is a great motivator. So you learn fast when you're in that thing. But my feeling at the time was that although I was good at what I did in quality control, I wasn't happy. I didn't like it. It was the same thing. It was repetitive.
No creative freedom?
Well, there's no creativity at all.
Oh, I see.
You're basically doing tests all the time and everything. And the only time it got as exciting is if something went wrong, and you didn't want that. So, I found that I also didn't like the fact that someone was pulling the strings. And when you're working for someone else, you're always at that mercy. I mean, they're telling you when you can take vacation, they're telling you what you need to do, when to go to work, when you take off, what kind of lifestyle you can have, and what they're going to pay you or not pay you. And so there was a lot of control there, and they could also do what they just did, was say, we're sorry, your job's no longer here. So 7-Up was a great company to work for, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate the opportunity I had there.
But businesses change and things evolve, yeah.
Yeah, and so, but I was looking for something different. I wanted to control my own destiny a little bit more, and my father helped me have that opportunity where the two of us could do this together. And I say that because it wasn't that, although financially it was a help to be able to, the two of us to do it. But one thing that he did is he gave me this support of telling me that he thought we could do it. It was a very new idea, video production on a company at that level. It was kind of new. And so it was scary. And for me, being in business by myself and never done that was very scary. And I was extremely shy, didn't want to talk to anybody, which I found was not a good idea if you're going to be in business. But at any rate, he helped convince me that we could do it. And I convinced him we could do the technology wasn't that scary. He convinced me that the business side wasn't that scary. So between the two of us, blind leading the blind, I guess we jumped in. And so it is what it is today.
We can talk about technology here in a minute, because you and I have both seen things grow drastically in those 29 years. But you said you bought a franchise to get started? What do you mean?
We bought into a company called Video Data Services, and it helped people get into the video production business. And ironically, in 2001, a friend of mine for many years, Virgil Miller in California, who owns his own video production company too, he was a member of the same franchise. We partnered together and bought the franchise. So it's kind of one of those stories. But that's another story. Yeah, we had helped us get in the market because it was a new market. There really wasn't a whole. It was VHS days, big cameras, and it was very expensive equipment. VCRs typically for the home cost $1,200. And my tagline at the time for someone doing a wedding was, "One day you'll be able to afford the machine to see this with." That wasn't a good sales line.
Yeah, you figure that out.
but there wasn't a whole lot of markets to do either because the quality wasn't there for commercial, and commercial really wasn't using video except for broadcast commercials. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you calling me one day. This goes back, our friendship goes back a ways. We said, "Hey, there's this new thing called Super VHS."
Yes, it's going to allow us to do commercial stuff, and it really was that. And the
didn't have to
video
go beta.
toaster were great innovations that allowed us to jump in and start playing in the commercial market. And because you were doing TV commercials with us.
Right.
We're using you as a voice talent and on-camera talent. Matter of fact, you were our spokesperson for a number of years for a video company.
That's right. I remember that. We do share a lot of the growth in technology and seeing things shaped and changed differently over the years. But we thought, Super VHS, does it get any better than this? Little did we know the digital age was upon us.
Right.
And with all of that, why are you such a proponent and fan of video? What is the key here?
Well, video is a tremendous storytelling device, no matter what your story is. It might be a sales story or training or safety, or you're trying to create emotion, or you're trying to sell your tires or something. Video can be now accessed everywhere. It's on your iPhone, it's on your iPad, it's on YouTube, your computer, obviously. And video is being used, of course, for broadcast and things as well. But the internet has just changed things so tremendously, and video is so loved because it's the next best thing to being there. And in some cases, I say it's better than being there, because you can condense your story, you can condense your message, you can take the people anywhere, you can add music, you can add graphics and things to enhance it, and all that's something you can't just do in person. So video allows you to do all those things. It's a great storytelling device, and you can take your message to the people. And with the internet and things like YouTube, it's easier than ever to do that and take your message to the people. And you can see that by the growth of YouTube. I've got some stats here that, and you may not know this, but more than 1 billion unique users visit YouTube each month. 1 billion.
A month.
A month. And over 4 billion hours of video are watched every month just on YouTube alone. Not Daily Motion or Metacab, just YouTube. 72 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. That's incredible amount of stuff.
It truly is. On every topic imaginable.
On anything you can think of. And YouTube, of course, is the second largest search engine. So video is an incredible sales tool, marketing tool, a way to get your message across. And I mean, we're using it in this today. I mean, we're gonna shoot this. We're shooting this video interview, and it's going to be uploaded to YouTube. And then the link can be sent all over Facebook, or LinkedIn, Twitter, and it can be seen anywhere in the world instantly.
With Allied Video Services, all those years ago, it was kind of like an umbrella for anybody that wanted to produce a commercial or a documentary maybe, or a training video. But did you take aim at any one specific demographic or type of video service, or did you say anybody who wants to film a video?
Well, no. In the beginning, we were limited by technology, so we offered consumer services only. And then when Super VHS came along, and then later we did Beta SP, and then digital, and then HDV, and now full-blown HD. And so if you're going to get in the video business, you better be prepared to buy equipment because it keeps changing. But as the technology improved, we could do other things and offer other things to enhance the video experience.
But not just commercials.
No.
You were interested in anything involved.
We were doing sales videos, training videos, orientations. We were covering conferences. And one thing we found a niche that we really liked was virtual sets. A virtual set is what we're sitting on here today, Charlie. We're, as you know, we're sitting in a green room. And we're sitting in a green room with 3 cameras shooting us, and this is all being edited live. And this is a virtual set. And we have sets we've designed, very elaborate ones with video playing in the background and everything that you can do. But it makes the company look very large. It makes them look very professional. It doesn't cost them a fortune to do it.
We could be virtually anywhere is the
We
idea.
can, well, and
with the
virtually,
background.
yes. You could have any background you wanted behind you. Of course, we chose this one for the show. But the idea is that this is one of the things that we can offer clients. And sometimes it's a really good tool to allow them to tell their message better. And it gives the viewer some eye candy. It gives them a central point to talk from, and so it's a unique tool that we find very useful. So that's something that's come a long way in technology since the early days, because the quality of HD video is better, easier to work with and manipulate,
Right.
and so we use that. But what we've done is we've gone away from, we don't do weddings and videography like that. We don't do those. But what we concentrate on is the commercial market.
That's what I was
Sales,
gonna ask
training,
about.
orientation, safety, things like that. We are very big in, and we travel all over the country doing those type of videos and writing them and producing them and all. So.
Really, even out of this market.
Oh yeah, we just completed a job in Chicago, and I just got back from Boston. I was up there when they had the bombings, right after they had the bombings up there shooting for 2 days, a demolition company. So yeah, we have we travel all over to do video productions, and they're being seen all over the world.
So if someone wants a video for any purpose, what's the process, beginning with them contacting you? Where do you go from
Well,
there?
I think first of all, we listen to what their need is, and we decide, we can offer suggestions of different ways they could approach that video.
Or they may not even need a video.
Well, they may not, or they may want to use a video with graphics and a voiceover. They might want to use one with photos and graphics and a voiceover. They might want to use an on-camera person. And so it just depends on what their purpose is and what we think they need, and we'll make suggestions and price it out for them, and all of that is free. And then if they want to proceed, we create a script. Of course, they have full approval on that. Once the script is locked, we shoot and we produce the video. And I'm a fan of always coming in on budget. I don't like this over budget stuff. The only time that it would go over the projected budget if they want a helicopter or something, they didn't tell us about it. Right. So if they want this helicopter shot, then that's going to cost you, but because that wasn't in the budget. But I like to come in on budget, and to do that, you get on the same page right away with them as far as what you're doing, what you need, and the script. So at the end, their vision is your vision, and I think that's incredibly important to do. Because in the end, you want them to say, that's exactly what I was thinking it was going to look like, or that's better than I thought, But you don't want them to go, oh, gee, I thought it was going to look like something else, So you need that communication is very key with clients.
Well, related to the advances in technology and how you've had to evolve that way, I think it's interesting that you've also evolved with realizing the needs of every individual client, with Allied Video Services being a portal to other ways of advertising. You, in a sense, have become an ad agency once people make a video and want other ways to market. Can you tell us about that from copywriting and onward?
Well, we offer, of course, the services to create a video, but then
Right.
in the video, that led into how do I show it, how do I get it out in front of people,
Exactly.
which led into helping people put it on websites, and which led into web design, which led into, well, now that I got on the site, how do I get anybody to see it? Well, that led to search engine optimization, so we've created AVS Marketing Solutions to help companies market video through video optimization, websites, things like that. And that now we've just opened the division, HamptonRoadsBusinessLive.com, which does interviews for companies of business owners, and gets them a chance to get their message out in front of the community in a free video interview, which is pretty much unheard of. But that's something that we're offering, and I think it will be a big success. It's just started.
Right.
As we're taping this, it's just been out like 10 days.
Right.
So
Yeah,
anyway.
well, this is part of the evolution, and I think that's unique about Allied Video. You didn't just put a doorstop with, we're going to do a video for you, but you were sensitive to the needs that went beyond that, and didn't just refer them to someone to build a website. You helped them do that, and then video or website optimization as well.
Yeah, well, I found that where I could help them increase that return on investment that they have, that they're looking for. And if you can help them do that, if you do a video for them but no one sees the video, then that's going to be a problem. If you can help that video get up in the front pages where people would see that video, then they have a shot at the video making an impact. Or you can help put it on DVD, or you can create a video that plays well at a trade show or whatever. So you have to be mindful of what the purpose is, and then design a video or design a marketing plan that works for that purpose and helps them get their goal. So it's not really important what your goal is, it's what their goal is. And so that's what I find, that we try to do.
Now you've grown beyond, as you said, video weddings and things like that, although I know you've done some good ones. Did a couple for family members?
Well, there's only a few people I've actually come out and done one for here in the last few years at all, and your son was one of them.
Right. But do you offer any other consumer level video production?
Yeah, actually we do film transfers, home movies, well let me just say like VHS and videotapes and all to DVD. And we also offer film transfers of 8 Super 8, 16 and Super 8 sound and 16 sound to DVD. Matter of fact, we've done the MacArthur Memorials Library to digital. Speaking of MacArthur Memorial, we also did the MacArthur story, which I'm proud to say this past year we produced that for their new HD theater. So that was a feather in our cap.
I'm a little proud of that too.
Yeah. Actually, you should be, because Charlie was the narrator on that project.
You didn't have to say that.
Yeah, I know I didn't have to say
I'm
that,
glad you
but you were the narrator. Did a wonderful job.
Thank you. It was
All
a
right. So
pleasure.
now we patted each other on the back. But we do that. We also do video depositions. So we have a legal division that does that. So between the film transfers and the photo montages and things for consumers and duplication for consumers and businesses, we also do legal video. And then we have the commercial side, which handles all sales training, orientation, safety, that sort of stuff.
Is there anything that you specialize in that you say, this is what I really want to do? I'd rather do this kind of video more often than others?
Well, I like any of the presentation videos, because it gives me a chance to write and to have a goal of trying to, all videos have a goal, but a goal of trying to get your point across in a short period of time, and to make a difference and to market a product or a service. So I like those. I like everything that we do. I really do.
That's
it's not
great.
work for me. It's a passion that I have, and that's why I say I'm really extremely lucky to have found this, because if things hadn't worked out this way, God knows what I'd be doing, but I wouldn't be as happy as I am today.
I think people want to hear that, that you really enjoy what
Well,
you
you
do.
have to enjoy it. If you always work harder for yourself than anybody else, and if you don't love what you do, then you got a problem. But if you love what you do, then it's never really work. And so that's the way I feel.
Now, as far as someone doing a commercial, they would think, well, Allied Video Services can do the commercial. We're glad about that, and we talked about some of your marketing efforts with the website and website optimization, copywriting, but they may think, what about placement of the commercials? Do you get involved with that, or is that something you do have to farm out?
Well, I work with the TV stations.
I
I've
see.
worked with them to place it. In some cases, we have placed it for clients who want us to do it. But in other cases, we worked with ad agencies, or we worked with TV stations.
Okay.
So I mean, we
you make it happen.
Yeah, we make it happen, regardless of what, it's up to the client how they want to handle that. And we can tell them the pros and cons of what we can do and what we don't want to do or can't do. But my thing with clients is, and I always tell them this, I always tell them what I think. I can
Honestly,
do anything that they want, pretty much. but I'll always give them an opinion. I'll tell them what I think because I think that's important. If I have a better way of doing it, or I think this way could save them money, or this will save time, or this will be might be an approach they hadn't thought of. If I don't say something and then this thing doesn't work out, well, then I don't want to come back and say, gee, yeah, I knew that. They'll say, why didn't you say something? So I would rather tell them, but a lot of times because of our history of 30 years of doing this, we do have ideas they haven't considered.
Yeah.
And we do have some easier ways to do it, or ways that make a lot more sense for them to get their point across.
One thing I've observed, and we've seen this in a number of scenarios ourselves and projects I've been involved with, someone would just be overwhelmed with how to do something. They think a 30-minute video has to be accomplished along with so many other factors. You have a way of distilling a concept so that it really gets to the heart of what needs to be said and how it is to be done.
Well, I think that's part of scripting and part of knowing what your medium length of your medium is that you want target audience can stand,
Right.
and what the goal of the project is, and they're all different. I mean, we've done hour-long things and 5-minute things and 2-minute things and 30-second things. So it just depends on the client and all. But I think video is a great storytelling medium, and I think that it's something that you can really make an impact with your audience on. And we'd love the opportunity for people to let us have an opportunity to help them do that.
Unless there's anything else you want to say along with maybe what you envision for the future, we'll bring this to a close. But anything else you want to say about
Well,
Allied Video?
I would say that I don't want to talk about envisioning in the future because I'm usually
hard to
wrong.
predict.
I'm usually wrong. It's amazing what's going on now, what you can do.
Yeah.
So I don't know what 5 years from now is going to be. I hope it doesn't involve another format change because I just got through going to full-blown HD. So, but I would like to say that anybody that's going to go in business, I think I would say to them that listen to your heart, listen to what you think you can do, and talk to someone who's done what you're trying to do. Because, if you go to a baseball player and you say, boy, I'd like to be a major league player, he's going to look at you and say, well, you can do it, because he's done it. He knows what it took to do it, and he knows you can do it. But if you go to somebody, could be a high school coach, could be a teammate, could be whatever, and you say, I want to play in the major leagues, they'll give you every reason in the world why you can't do it. They don't know. They haven't done it. But they're sure to tell you you can't do it. And if you listen to people that tell you you can't do it, I mean, when I started this business, they said I was in the wrong format. Don't go VHS, go beta. You can't do this. You can't talk. You can't be in front of people. You can't shoot. You can't do this. You can't do that. Every reason in the world why I could not do it. And the only one who said I could do it was my father, my wife, and myself, basically. And actually, I had one other friend that I went to Richmond who was in the video business, who was doing exactly what I was thinking about getting into. And when we got ready to leave his facility, he tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around and he said, you can do this. That was the decision-making point for me.
Wow.
Was that moment. And I've told him that. And because he believed I could do it, and he was doing it, and he had no more background in it than I had. He had the same training I had, and he was doing it, and he was succeeding at doing it, and he said I could do it. And I believed him. And of course, years later, he told me he was lying. But that's, I'm teasing. But really, it's believe in yourself. If you have a passion for it, go for it.
Yeah.
And don't let people talk you out of it. You have to be cautious, but just don't listen to people, because people will be quick to tear you down. It's like a bucket full of crabs. One tries to get out, and the others are pulling right back down, because they don't want you moving ahead of them. But you can do great things, I think, in business, no matter what it is, if you're passionate about it, if you want to.
Well,
so that's what I would leave you with.
That's great. Well, encouragement, as you said about your friend, it's so powerful. And we want to thank you for encouraging people out there to consider video, hopefully through Allied Video Services in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Right in Greenbrier.
And yeah, that's right. Thank you very much for watching Hampton Roads Business Live. And We thank Rory Graham for being our guest today.
Thank you, Charlie.